With the advent of modern society, the phrase toxic masculinity has been thrown out of perspective and made into an evil personality disorder. However, it's still something every woman on this earth craves. In fact, they often chase these traits in men, simply disregarding the nice guy. But some men have it naturally, and whether you call it arrogance or confidence, they easily attract any girl you can dream of having. Fortunately, these traits are all things you can learn and integrate into your life, with caution, of course. Yes, these traits can be taken too far in many cases, which might turn women against you. So without wasting your time, we've conducted some research through practical experience to find the 3 toxic masculine traits that women hate but secretly desire.
Fearlessforge.
Now, women won't tell you this, but now you can have the dating edge and find your attractiveness increases tenfold. Number 1. Risking it all. Have you ever watched a UFC fight? If you have, you'll find the crowd rallying behind the underdog who doesn't seem to give up or quit. In fact, the person might not be the biggest or the strongest, but much like Conor McGregor, they'll never allow it to get in the way of their potential to win. The fact is that even though they talk a big game, these alpha males can back it up, and regardless of the cards life deals them, they continue to push through with resilience and without complaining. Now, this includes building their bodies into something of a human specimen, but it also shows the discipline they have. These men are willing to risk everything they have in an attempt to improve themselves and become something better. Since most men on the planet are too scared to take a risk and approach women, other men will risk their livelihoods for a bigger payoff in the end. And during this journey, women can fall in love with their risk-taking nature. Now, you should never risk your security for something unless you're a trained athlete or your finances shouldn't be at risk. But taking more calculated risks will be a sure way to make yourself more attractive. If we're to look back into the primal nature of human beings, we'll see that men had to protect their families. A man had to go out into the wild, often competing with lions and other predators to find food to feed the family. Back then, it was simply called survival. Today, men don't need to take risks anymore, and everything can simply be found at your local convenience store. The problem with this is the need for taking risks that could have a big payoff in the end has slipped, and people take a more conservative approach to, well, everything. But don't get this wrong, as you shouldn't go out and wrestle a bear to prove that you're willing to take some risks. Now, the risks that make the modern man attractive is being willing to ask a woman out on a date, or even just to man up and approach the woman you find attractive. You see, very few people are willing to approach directly, and everyone is dating online nowadays. How pathetic, actually. This is considered toxic by many people, since the risks men take are often something that could land them in all sorts of hot water. However, the line between risk and success is very fine, and when you take more risks, especially with women, you'll find that you become far more attractive. And just to add, if she rejects you, don't bother. You'll at least have gained the respect of the other person if you're willing to do it in a gentlemanly manner. Number 2, calling people out on the bullshit. By speaking up in the modern era, you'll find yourself staring down the barrel of the cancel gun much sooner than you think. However, this is what causes many men to rather live their lives in silence and never speak up. You see, calling someone out on their negative or bad behavior is frowned upon, and you should get ready to be labeled as judgmental in every aspect of your life. But as a man, the goal is not to be liked by everyone, but rather to be respected. And the only way you'll truly be respected is if you remain true to yourself and stand up for what you believe in. Current UFC fighter and former middleweight champion Sean Strickland is one of the fighters that many people have mixed feelings about. In fact, Strickland has been labeled a psychopath more often than anything else, but at least he speaks up for what he believes in. You can't help but to respect this and ask yourself if you're willing to do the same. Now, doing this will make you 10 times more attractive among women, but you need to have a thick skin to see this through. Winston Churchill once said, "You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks." And this basically means that when someone's criticizing or trying to cancel you for something you've said or done, leave it be. You see, most people feed off reaction, and when you stop reacting, you'll notice that people stop being interested, and this will go a long way to helping you earn respect. Respect is emphasized, and for good reason, as men need to be respected by women if they want to be more attractive. In essence, a woman is looking for someone who can protect them and provide. How this is done isn't a matter of concern as long as she and her kids have food on the table table and a roof over their heads. So even though calling out people might get you hated at first, you'll definitely earn their respect, especially if your points are valid and the other person knows they're in the wrong. With so much respect coming your way, you'll find that women are much more attracted to you and they label you as being reliable. Number 3, unwillingness to speak about their feelings. Perhaps one of the most toxic traits is when men are unwilling to speak about their personal feelings and bottle them up. Modern research into the human mind has revealed that this causes significant trauma in the long run, but there's no denying that it's attractive as hell. You see, human beings love a mystery, and when presented with a puzzle, it's only natural to be curious and try to figure it out. Men who don't communicate their feelings as often as they should become this enticing, mysterious, and enigmatic figure. But this also serves as another point that could make you attractive. You see, women want a man who can not only deal with his own issues, but has extra capacity to take on theirs as well. Since she notices that you don't let your emotional issues stand in your way, she will inevitably become more attracted to you and build more trust. Keep in mind that this is a risky way of becoming attractive, and even though it's labeled as toxic and women will often tell you that you're insensitive and never open up, they will continue fighting and trying to win you over. Nothing is as entertaining as finding someone who's broken and pledging that you are to fix them. But how can you fix them if you don't know what's wrong? As you can see, it becomes the same obsession as trying to solve a puzzle, and women love solving puzzles that could help them gain a better understanding of someone in life. But looking at the flip side, we often see many openly handing their feelings and emotional problems over to women without any regard for what the woman might think. You'll also notice that women tend to label these people as being weak or nice guys who always need assistance in having someone solve their problems for them. So to sum this up, women might tell you they want you to share your feelings and open up emotionally, but they desire the chase to find this out more than the actual reveal. The moment you relent and give up these emotional feelings, she gains the upper hand and she doesn't have anything to chase. In fact, this chase can even become an obsession, so use it wisely. If you've stayed this long, you'll find the next tip is something that is often disregarded and subtle. You see, charm is one of those traits that can quickly make you be seen as a player, and if you're in a relationship and you're charming to other people just because and not because you have any intentions, you become likable. One thing you need to understand is that women tend to want a man all for themselves, and they don't even want him staring in the direction of others. However, when he's liked by many people, women begin building insecurities in their minds, and this makes them engage in fights to try and change the person. However, if you intend that you want to be nice to others, you're not doing anything wrong, and this will be an issue they need to deal with in their personal lives. However, it also creates competition, and instead of doing all the work to chase her, she's continually chasing you. If you want to add a little bit of indifference to this, it's your call, but beware that you don't push this too far. Some women might accuse you of cheating and walk away, even when you're the right one. The upside to this is that they often come back. But being a man in the dating world where hypergamy is taking over is excruciating and daunting. Unless you're willing to become the ultimate man, you'll keep on losing. So make sure you check out some of the other videos on this channel to ensure that you can compete with other men who are applying these things.